Happy Sunday. The book I chose to talk about today is a book about forgiveness. Not just light forgiveness, but profound forgiveness. And it was a book I was prompted to read because of a talk that I heard and multiple newspaper articles about a profound act of forgiveness by a group of people. The book is Amish Grace by Donald B. Kraybill, Stephen M. Nolt, and David L. Weaver-Zercher. This book was amazing to me as I learned about this experience. The story is about a schoolhouse full of children terrorized by a gunman who killed some of the children and himself, and how this group of Amish people not only experienced it, but moved through it in profound teaching ways about forgiveness. And these gentlemen researched and talked and interviewed these Amish people to try to understand how they had moved so quickly from the destruction of the deaths of their children at the hands of a murderer to attending at this man's widow's home, offering forgiveness, love, compassion, service. It's amazing, truly amazing to hear the story of this experience. One of the chapters is called The Practice of Forgiveness. We are not always able to forgive. We have struggles too. It's not always easy to forgive. Sometimes it's easier to forgive the big issue, but you might have a little issue you just can't forgive, said Mose, a grandfather surrounded by stacks of Amish newspapers in his spacious kitchen. We have our own petty grudges, the minister admitted. We can forgive Roberts, who was actually the man who committed this crime, but we can't always forgive our Amish neighbor. Some people have a hard time forgiving, a retired farmer explained. We have a battle with forgiveness. It's hard to forgive, but we can't be forgiven if we don't forgive. So we really try hard to overcome that. We're very human, you know. These words were repeated time and again in our conversations with Amish people. We try to forgive, but we are human too. I think there's the power in that. It's the trying, right? Not everything is easy to forgive. And sometimes it is the smaller little things that get under our skin, that tear down our superpower of forgiveness. And yet we all desire to be forgiven. This is an interesting read because it actually draws you into the community and you feel the trauma, and yet you feel the power of that forgiveness and how it changes everything. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it go away. It doesn't make it as if it never happened. But it changes the going forward. And millions of people are better because of it. people who know the story, people who are fascinated by the forgiveness and the power of it, people who needed forgiveness in their own lives, people who needed to offer forgiveness. There's something for every one of us in this book. Amish Grace, how forgiveness transcended tragedy. It builds your forgiveness bone. It strengthens you to overcome hard things. And if nothing else, it reminds you that in your humanness, in our humanness, there is power to change, to go forward, and to be different. I want to be different. I'm working on forgiveness.